Hi everyone, my name is Guhan,
And I'm Soham.
and we're here with the Elite East Business Academy to go over lesson 2.2, Making Economic Decisions. A brief overview on what we're going to be talking about today. We're first going to be going over the different economic systems, and we're going to provide example systems and a little bit of help with each of them to help you thoroughly understand them. Then we're going to move on to economic choices, the functions of businesses and their activities, and lastly, a conclusion with our questions. So now, starting off with economic systems, I'm going to be handing it over to Soham.
So, what are economic systems? All economies must choose a way to separate and allocate their goods and services between those who want them versus those who need them. This is the main principle of the economic systems of the world. There are couple types of economies. First off, we can talk about the command and market economies. So, in a command economy, the government has absolute control and it can determine what, how, and for whom the goods and services are produced, and the consumers themselves have little choice, and individuals are not always allowed to obtain what is wanted or what they need. A notable country with a command economy would be North Korea, as you can see with their flag. Um, and next, I want to talk about the market economy. Market economies like Japan allow individuals and businesses to decide what, how, and for whom the goods and services are produced. This allows individuals' voice to create change in the market and promote innovation. And now I want to talk about the traditional and mixed economies. So for traditional economies, goods and services produced the same way they always have, like in a traditional manner. Uh, yeah, and then basically these groups are typically not participating in the global economy, but are in their own subgroups within a nation, such as the Cherokee Nation, a flag, as you can see here. Most of these goods are sold in nearby communities and lack the formal structure of a global economy. And then we talk about the mixed economies, like the United States. Basically, there's elements of a command and market economy combined into one, where individuals and businesses have control, and government also has control in some areas. The traditional and command economies develop into these mixed economies eventually after either they fail or like they want some change.
So now I'm going to be talking about economic choices. So economic decision making is where you choose which needs and wants you will satisfy with the resources you have. So for example, the car company Toyota chooses to satisfy the people's desire to be able to travel places quickly, which is why they decide to produce cars. So this is important because choosing your making these economic decisions help you define like what your company is going to be doing. So the first major principle that you have to determining these economic choices is scarcity. You have to understand that there are limited resources to produce goods and services, but there are unlimited wants and needs. For example, I have an unlimited want for ice cream, or I have an unlimited need for oxygen. It's important to understand that resources such as land, labor, and capital are all finite, and people and societies together determine how to allocate these resources. Let's have an example here with a country with limited healthcare and education resources that has to make a decision on whether to invest more in hospitals or education. And this is how scarcity, with the fact that the country has limited resources, has to make these decisions. Scarcity forces individuals, businesses, and governments to make decisions on resource allocation, shaping economies worldwide. Let's take another example over here. Let's say that it's your birthday, and for your birthday, you get $100. Now, with the $100, you decide to spend 50 of it to going to a really cool concert that you want to go to. For example, like a Travis Scott concert, and you're having a lot of fun. And then you decide to go out for dinner with your friends and you spend another $50 on having this really nice meal. Well, now all your friends are going out for ice cream, but if you remember, we spent $50 at the Travis Scott concert and then $50 at dinner. So you don't have any more money left to spend on ice cream. So in this case, money was a scarce good, a scarce resource, as you have an unlimited want to have these fun experiences, except you don't have the resources in order to do so.
Next, I want to talk about an opportunity cost. Basically what an opportunity cost is that it's the value of the next best alternative. It's crucial to understand that all your alternatives and understand and consider all your alternatives. For example, your parents gave you $100 for your birthday and you want to decide what to do with it. If you save it for college, you can't use it to buy a new phone that you really wanted. So this smartphone becomes the opportunity cost of going to college.
Another example we see is if someone decides to start a company, a taco stand more specifically, and they get $10,000 to spend on whatever they want. Well, they have their taco stand, and now they can either spend their $10,000 on getting advertising, as you can see by the advertisement on the right over here, or they can buy new meat graters and other types of equipment to make food easier to make. So let's say they decide to choose to spend the $10,000 on advertising. The meat grater that they ended up losing and the other equipment becomes the opportunity cost. They had to give up the next best alternative, as Soham mentioned, to get what they chose. And now moving on to the functions of businesses. So the functions of business activities have four main classifications. The two that I'm going to be talking about in this slide are production and marketing, and Soham is going to be talking about the other two. The primary reason a business exists is to be able to produce goods and services for consumers in order to gain profit. So for example, the primary reason why the company Crocs exists is to produce their signature good, Crocs, for profit. And this is one of their business activities. Production. Another business activity is marketing. And you need to complete these marketing activities to make products known and available. And this is defined by the marketing mix. We will be going over the marketing mix in a future lesson, but a brief overview is that the marketing mix has four main categories: the product, place, price, and promotions, and often called the 4 P's of the marketing mix. So the product and price, place, and promotion marketing mixes are things that we're going to be going more in depth into in the future. However, just note that the price is price and promotion are like you offering a discount on a good to make it cheaper than a competitor's, or to be able to make it more interesting for people to buy. Place, the place part of the marketing mix is how you're planning on distributing the goods. So for example, as you can see with the image on the left over here, it's Costco trucks. And the product part of the marketing mix is the product that you are serving. So now I'll be handing it over to Soham to talk about the next two.
So the other two functions of business are management and finance. For management, this is all about developing, implementing, and evaluating plans and activities by setting goals and determining how they are met. This role belongs to management. This role is mainly used to solve problems, oversee the general work, and evaluate activities and their results. Next, finance. Basically, if you have a job in finance, you want to determine the amount of capital that you need to start a business and run a business. You want to ask yourself, how is the capital obtained? And most financial employees, they usually plan and manage financial records of the business and manage trade secrets so that it doesn't get leaked. Next, I want to get to the questions. So take your time on this. I'll ask the question. I'll wait 5 seconds and I'll resume. Question 1. What are the 4 functions of business? 2. What is scarcity? 3. What is opportunity cost? 4. Define a command economy. And then 5. What is the principle of economic systems?
And now moving on to the answers. So to the first question on what the different parts of the functions of the business are, we have production, marketing, management, and finance. Next, the definition of scarcity is that there are unlimited wants and needs with limited resources available. Moving on to opportunity cost, it's the value of the next best alternative. A command economy determines what, how, and for whom goods are produced. And lastly, the key principle of economic systems is that all economies choose how to allocate products and who receives them. So now we have our joke of the day. Where was Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, born? Madagascar. Ha 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 ha.
Very funny joke, Guhan.
Did you get it? Because Madagascar is a country, and because Elon Musk is the founder of Tesla, we're just gonna say that he's mad at Gascar. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at our email address, our Instagram, or visit us on our website and you'll be able to contact us there. See you guys in the next video.